My name is Andrew Jones and I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with stage 2B lymphoma in the summer of 2016. I was in the Faculty of Science and Technology doing pure chemistry as my major. So I moved into the Faculty of Social Sciences with my major being management studies, looking to have a double major with entrepreneurial studies. I was doing that with the dream to become an entrepreneur. How I knew that something was wrong was just chronic pain that I attributed to stress, asthma attacks reoccurring. At first, I put it off as just regular things that happen to anybody. School stress, your back hurts you have asthma attack because you probably some dust blow on you or something like that. Didn't really take anything too seriously. Say, okay, this is just a part of life. But when these things become frequent to a point of annoyance, you know that you should probably look into it a bit more. I started a summer job. I realized I had to be leaving work often to go to the doctor to get nebulized. Being nebulized is not a simple thing as you can't breathe. So when I realized, one, the treatment wasn't helping as much, and two, I was going for this emergency treatment too many times. My mother in particular said that I should get an x-ray. She was so concerned, not only because of my family history. Two of my relatives died from asthma, but because it was so consistent. There was a mass covering my chest. Doctors don't like to assume, so we had to do further testing. But the initial scan, he said there was a high probability of it being lymphoma. When he said lymphoma, I zoned out a bit because I knew what lymphoma was, but associating that with myself wasn't something that I would ever do. So I said, okay, he said lymphoma, I need to probably look that up. And I did this while everybody else was planning for a biopsy. I have very weak veins, so to even put me to sleep, I got injected 17 times. And that still didn't work, so they just put me to sleep with oral anesthesia. The biopsy said I had stage 2B, which is going on to stage 3 lymphoma. And the lymph nodes, which was the shadow that we saw in the x-ray, encased my whole chest, in between my lungs, everything in the chest region. And the biopsy, the scans also showed that it was inoperable. I was just like, Doc, what caused this? She said, honestly, it's random. It's something that was random, not anything caused by any lifestyle choices, not caused by anything that I had done, because lymphoma is a cancer like that is randomly occurring. I used to wonder, but I say, but I'm young. I thought cancer was something that was restricted to people in age. But it was something. It was something because it hit us out of the park. I was 19, young, doing my degree with my friends, chilling out, and then you hear say you have cancer. It's hard to believe, especially as a young man. You feel proud, you feel strong, you feel like nothing can stop you. We had to do very aggressive chemotherapy and also radiation. So chemotherapy, boy, every chemo day started out with family prayer. Well, every day starts out with family prayer, but especially chemo days. And then I would drink a glass of concentrated carrot juice because it really does help. My veins weren't very well, so I had to flush my port and get my chemo. So that involves sitting down in a room for 3 to 4 hours while they pump the chemo inside of you. And you feel yourself gradually getting sicker. But then you have people around you who are going through the same thing. And we always run a few jokes. Sometimes when it gets to a point you don't really want to talk. I used to listen to music, preferably upbeat music. It helps you. Some days after chemo I had to go up to school, probably to do some group work, probably for a class, rarely for a class. I tried to schedule all classes that way, but sometimes I had to go up. But first things first, I would have to go home and rest. So if I do my chemo in the morning, I'm not going up to UWI until probably 6 o'clock. The hardest part for me was seeing my mother and my sister cry when they found out what my exact diagnosis was. Because until it was confirmed that it was stage 2B lymphoma, we're all very hopeful. We're like, okay, probably it's just a mass, probably it's something we can do. But to see my sister and my mother cry, that's what was the hardest for me. That was probably the only time during my whole treatment and my whole recovery that I really cried because of my condition. Quitting wasn't an option. I couldn't just act like a victim of my circumstance. You have to move past the challenges, can't succumb to them. And plus, I couldn't just be at home doing nothing for all my treatment. It didn't sit well with my soul. I'm a social person. My support system was phenomenal, and I have to thank the Lord. First, for my family, because at this point, I couldn't necessarily do things like normal people. I couldn't even eat like a normal person. I had to sleep with somebody every night for probably the first 4 months of my treatment. If in my sleep I shifted the wrong way, I would have stifled. And there was a few scares, but with the supervision, I'm okay. I want to make special mention to my girlfriend, Abigail Scarlett, my grandmother, who took me to all my radiation treatments, my aunt, who helped me to get my wish of still pursuing my degree even when I was doing treatment, Mr. Moore, who helped with getting the authorization for me to do reduced courses, and just my whole family, my church family, my friends who supported me, always running joke, keeping me in good spirits, always contacting and visiting me when I couldn't have left the house. On November 2, I will be graduating from the University of the West Indies with a double major. Mr. Mitchell, this is very significant. It only set in Thursday when I got my graduation picture, because even when I finished my course and on the website it says your degree is awarded, it didn't set in. I've been on this journey for many years. The journey was delayed because I had to do less courses while I was doing treatment. And to see more than one batch of my batchmates leave the university, it impacts people. Even if you know you're progressing and you know the reason, you don't want to consider anything an excuse. Because I consider myself just like everybody else, a student at the university. So just to know that I'm finally finished now, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. And I just want to share with everybody who has helped me along the way.